Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today we will be going to start a new chapter, that is organization of data. After collecting the raw data, an investigator has to organize them in a proper manner because raw data are not able to offer meaningful conclusion. So the thing is that after collection of data, the data must be organized in such a way that it will be useful for the particular investigator to make the survey and to make the particular objective to be achieved. Data are to be organized before these are presented for final observation. So in this chapter we will be going to learn how could we organize the data so that it will be having a meaningful sense for the investigator for their investigation. Organization of data doesn't is not a difficult thing. It is refers to the arrangement of data in a systematic order in the figures and facts in such a form that a comparison of the mass or similar data may be facilitated and further analysis may be possible. An important method of organization of data is to distribute this into different classes on the basis of their characteristics. This process is known as classification of data. Classification of data is a grouping of related facts into classes. Unorganized and shapeless data can neither be easily compared nor interpreted. The technique of arranging the data is different. Homogeneous group is known as classification. So classification, student, it is a grouping of related facts into classes, and the unorganized and shapeless data never be compared or interrelated. Instead of that, it becomes difficult to understand the data when it is unorganized. The technique of arranging the data in different homogeneous group is known as classifications. Means according to heading we will divide the data so that it will be easy for us to track the data and make the data to be understandable. According to Spur and Smith, they said classification is the grouping of related facts into classes. According to L.R. Conner, classification is a process of arranging things either actually or notionally in groups or classes according to their resemblance and affinities, and gives expression to the unity of attribute that may subsist amongst a diversity of individuals. According to Horace Chris, students, classification is a process of arranging data into sequences and groups according to their common characteristics of separating them into different but related parts. Characteristics of classification we will go, then the following are the main characteristics of classification. Under classification, collected data are divided into different groups. Homogeneous data are kept in and classified into one group. Data are classified on the basis of the features. The data become comparable. Objectives of classification, when we talk student, the main objectives of classification are as follows. To make the data simple and brief, the main objective of classification is to condense the mass of data to make them easily understandable. For example, if there are 100 students in a class, then marks can be put in the following way. Marks obtained out of 200. If the total marks is 200, then how much marks the student got? Number of students, you can see there how many students got between 100 to 110, that is 40 students. Between 110 to 120, how many students got? 30. That way if we will arrange, it will be easy to track out that how many scored the how much marks. It is just an approximate of the people. Actually how many students got 100 to 110 means it can be 102, 103 up to 110. How many students get? 40 students. To bring out points of similarity and dissimilarities, when we are organizing the data and classifying the data, it reveals clearly the points of similarity and dissimilarity. We can compare how many students, like for example the tabular data, how many students score between 130 to 140, that is 10, and between 100 to 110, that is 40. So the number of students who score more above the 130 is a 10, and less than 130 is less 130 is more. So that way we can make the similarity and dissimilarity between the data. So classification reveals clear points of similarity and dissimilarity in the statistical data. For example, married and unmarried, employed and unemployed, passed and failed, etc. To facilitate comparison, if facilitate comparison, student, unorganized and shapeless data cannot be compared. It can be done with the help of classification. For example, the figures of weight of students of two classes are given below, class A and class B. Weights in kgs, 20 to 30, how many students? Class A, how many students are there? Up to 30 kg, 5 students are there. Class B, how many students are there? 6. 30 to 40 weight, how many students are there in class A? 10. In class B, how many are there? 12. If we are knowing the data in this way, we can compare that class A is having less number of students as compared to class B. up to the weight of 50 kg, but in the 50 to 60 kg their class A is having more student as compared to class B. That way we can compare the data when it is having when it is organized and put before us. Now we can make comparison of weight of students. Scientific and critical arrangement student. With help of classification, data can be presented scientifically. For example, the number of students can be classified on the basis of the age and class. To reveal the basis of tabulation, when the how to arrange the data in a tabular form, that can be known from the classification of data, that how many headings table must be there, what all headings must be there. Classification provide basis for tabulation. New tabulation is possible with the classification. To bring out relationship, it provides a base on which you develop the relationship between the facts and figures. Essentials of an adult classification. Adult classification should possess the following characteristics. Very first, homogeneity. Like items, the data which are included in a particular class should homogeneous. Heterogeneous data should not be taken in that very particular class. Clarity students, the classification should be very clear, simple and undoubtful. If there is an ambiguity in the classification, it will lose its usefulness. Stability, when we talk about stability, the data which we are collecting must have some stable information. It is essential characteristics of an adult classification. The classification of data should not be subjected to change. It must be that way that it is showing accuracy, and it does not need any type of changes in the future period of time. If the stability of classification is lost, the purpose of which it has been done is defeated. Flexibility, when we talk about this feature of the adult classification, the classification should be flexible but not rigid one. By flexibility we mean that with the changing circumstances the classification should be changed, so that way flexibility is needed. Stability is also needed as well as flexibility. Once we had selected the data, most probably it must be exact for the purpose of objective. But flexibility, when we talk any type of changes occurs and because of the data has to be changed, then that type of flexibility must also be there. Diversification student, and adult classification should also possess the characteristics of diversification. Means it is bifurcated in such a way it shows the clarity. By diversification we mean that each unit must be included in any class. If there is any unit which is not related to any class, it is included in miscellaneous. Investigation student, and adult classification should be according to the purpose of investigation. So these are the features a data must have classified so that it will be useful for the purpose of achievement of objective. That it must be diversified, it must investigate, it must show flexibility, stability, clarity and homogeneity, so that it will be considered as meaningful classification of data. Now the types of methods of basic of classification. On what basis the classification can be done. If facts in one class differ from those of another class with respect to some characteristics called a basis of classification. The usual basis of classification are as follows. Very first is geographical classification, second is chronological classification, third is conditional classification, fourth is qualitative classification, and the fifth is quantitative classification. When we talk about geographical classification student, when the data is classified according to certain geographical location, then such a classification is called geographical classification. When the students are grouped according to the colleges they belong, then it is geographical classification. When the quantity of wheat produced in different districts of a state is presented, we say that it is according to geographical classification. The example of geographical classification may be presented in the following manner. I think it is clear from the meaning itself. When area wise some data is collected, it is known as geographical classifications. Production of wheat in India 2001 by different states is an example representing geographical classification. Area wise, the place wise the data is collected. Population of India in different states 2001, name of states and population. This is another example of classification of data on the basis of geographical areas. Chronological classification student, when data are classified with respect to different periods of time, the type of classification is known as chronological classification. As you can see the years and population in crores year by according to time period, the classification of data is done. It is known as chronological classification. Conditional classification, when there are some conditions on the basis of which classification is done, like female and male, like streams, different streams of students. When data are classified with respect to condition, this type of classification is called conditional classification. For example, the number of students in different faculty may be presented in the following manners: faculties, commerce stream, how many teachers are, number of students is there; economics, how many students are there; science, how many are there; and the arts, how many are there. Same way, if we are classifying according to the gender, like female and male, the children, women, and the men, this way we are classifying, it is known as classification on the basis of conditional classification. Quantitative classification, when we talk student, quantitative classifications are classified on the basis of some qualitative phenomena in people. When people are grouped as employed and unemployed with respect to a single attribute, employment means employment is a heading. Under the employment, two topic is there: employed and unemployed. Then this type of classification is known as simple classification. When classification is done on the basis of two attributes such as employed, and the sex, that is male and female, then this type of classification is called twofold or dichotomous classification. Means two headings are there, under the two subheadings are there which is classifying them properly. It is known as dichotomous classification. If we further divide the data on the basis of some more headings, attributes, so it has to form several classes, then classification is called manifold classification. The grouping with respect to manifold classification can be given as follows: population is a heading. Under that population, how many are employed, how many are unemployed, how many employed people are educated and uneducated, how many educated employees are male or female, uneducated employees, how many are male and female. This way the tabular data is showing this graph flowchart, according to which we make a tabular data in which many attributes are there. It is known as manifold classification. Quantitative classification, has the name is quantitative, and the basis of quantitative classification is done, it is known as quantitative classification. When a statistical inquiry is conducted and one of the variable is recorded one after the another, and then we get a group of numbers, such an assembling of numbers is called raw data or ungrouped data. It is possible to arrange the data in the ascending or descending order, such as weight, height, etc., but this does not reduce the volume of the data. The quantitative classification of number of students of different age group in a class school may be presented in the following manner: age group, number of students 0 to 5, how many students are there? 50. 5 to 10 is a group, in that how many students are there? 80 students are there. 10 to 15 age group, how many students are there? 70 students in the school. 15 to 20, how many age group, how many students are there? There are 60 students. So almost 260 total number of students 260, in which different categories are there of the students. Variable student. What is variable? A value which can be changed. Like for x is a variable, in that whatever value we will put, x equals to 1, then the value of x become 1. When we substitute the value of x as 7, it becomes the value of x is 7. So variable is a particular thing which helps to measure a characteristic which is capable of being measured and changes its value over the time is called a variable. It means from time to time its value can be updated. In other words, a variable refers to that quantity which is subject to change and which can be measured by some unit as weight, age, income, etc. The variable can be divided into the following two groups: one is discrete variable and second is continuous variable. When we talk the first category, that is the discrete variable students, discrete variable refers to those variables which are exact or finite and are not expressed in fractions. For example, means it is complete in essence. For example, number of students in a class, number of members in a family, number of rooms in a house, etc. It is not a fractional number, it is complete number. A discrete variable is based on certain limits. As in a family there are 5 children and another child is born, then it will be 6 members, not 5.5. Then total value would be 6, not 5 1 by 4, 5 1 by 2, or 5 3 by 4, etc. See, the following example will show the discrete variable. Number of children, number of families. When the variable is 0, the number of families, how many are there? 5 families. When the number of children is 1, how many families are having 1 children? That is 30 families. When the number of children is 2, means and your number of children you can take as f, frequency. Number of families, how many are there having 0 children? 5 families. Number of children, 3 children, how many families are there? 80. So this is known as discrete variables. Continuous variable, student, a continuous variable also known as continuous random variable is capable of manifesting every conceivable fractional value within the range of possibilities, such as height of the boys in the school is expressed as 5 3, 5 4, 5 5, and so on. The values of continuous variable may take any fractional value between the two complete numbers. The example of continuous variable is given below. Weights in kgs, number of students. After variable, students, you can see attributes, the next thing which is there in the statistics. According to that basis, a classification can be done. Attribute generally knows the condition. The beauty of people, their intelligence and aptitude for art and music also change from one person to the other. They cannot be measured numerically in the same way as height and weight. Therefore, they are not called variables in the statistical sense. They are called attributes. Okay. In brief, it can be said the variable implies the quantitative character of an item, while attribute signifies the quality character of an item. Population, student. In a statistic, population refers to the data on any single variable or a set of variables for all individual units of a region. We can know the population of region by counting the number of individuals living in that region. Okay, so that is population. In statistic, I already explained, whatever data we are taking for our study, it is known as population. Raw data, the data which is incomplete in its sense, that are known as raw data, which are collected by the investigator. They are in their original form. They must be complete in the finished form by the investigator. They are highly disorganized. The investigator has to organize them in a classified form. For example, the marks of 20 students in a class in the paper of statistics out of 50 are given in the following table. This marks is not useful, student, because it has to be arranged and it must be known how many students got, which roll number got 15, which roll number got 20 marks. Likewise, the data given in the above table is known as raw data. It has to be arranged by the investigator. In the next class, student, we will proceed with the statistical series and other points of this chapter. For today's class, this much only. Thank you for your cooperation.